Hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Well, actually, it's good afternoon now. What's up, everybody? Thank you for stopping by to dine in and hang out with me today at Mocha's Cafe de Paris. I want to give a big ups to all of my subscribers, those who have been rocking with me from the beginning, those of you who are new on board. Like I stated before, I see all of my subscribers as my family. So big ups to my family for rocking with me, support me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Good morning, Char Willie. And good morning to everybody else who's just coming in. I appreciate you for taking the time to stop by and holler at me, even if you can't stay. So again, I want to thank each and every one of you. Now, the other day I actually was doing this particular topic that I'm going to, be serving on today's menu. I kept having technical difficulties because my Microsoft was updating on me, and I hate when that mess happens. Microsoft just loves to update when you're in the middle of doing something crazy. So anyway, it kept chopping me up, and it just didn't, the chat didn't go too well because I just kept having technical difficulties. So I definitely want to pick up where I left off. What's up, Water Sniper? It's so good to see you. Missed you too. Thank you for still keeping up with me. Appreciate that. Yeah, so I felt it was very imperative that we talked a lot more and we discussed this issue about these chesters that are overpopulating the black community. Because honestly, I don't hear too many bloggers that are talking about this. We want to talk about everything else. We want to talk about all the issues black women have and all the issues black men have. We want to talk about all of these, issues, but the main underlying issue, in my opinion, that we are struggling with in the black community is all these goddamn sexual predators, these child molesters, these chesters. Why are we not talking about these issues? Why are we not talking about these brothers, these men? Because it's not just a black man problem, it's not just a white man problem, but the problem that really bothers me is the fact that it's going on way too much in the black community. Now, I remember at one point in time, child molestation was something that just happened in the Catholic churches. It was something that just happened with people in poverty. But back then you was able to kind of label child molestation. You was able to kind of point it out. Molestation back then had a category. It was usually white older men, or black men in poverty. You was able to kind of pinpoint it. But the scary part these days, y'all, there's no way to pinpoint it. Yeah, exactly, Water Sniper. That's why I'm going into this topic, because nobody wants to address this. We want to talk about everything but these sexual predators that are overpopulating the black community. And it's happening so much now, to the point that if you are in denial and you don't want to believe that this is not a problem brewing in the black community, you will easily become a target to it. You will become a target. You will become a prey to it. Now, the last time I came on here, which was, I think, 2 days ago, when I talked about this, I had one particular woman who got offended because I stated in my chat that it's more single women that are being targeted by these Chesters, these Chesters, the child molesters. And she got offended by that. Her thing was, well, what makes you so sure of, she threw a little sarcastic comment. I'm gonna see if I can find it while I'm on this live. She threw a little sarcastic comment like, matter of fact, I found it here. Her name is Freedom is a Right. And when I stated this, how, yeah, that was the name of my content. Single mothers are a target to sexual predators. And like one of my subscribers said, a single mother is a predator's dream come true. And it's the God's honest truth. These sexual predators, they love these single moms. And this broad had the audacity to get in her feelings and post under my video and say, do you have a credible, reliable, documented report stating single mothers most targeted by predators? Now, my thing is, what's up, Art? Thank you for coming in. My thing is, it's too many sisters out here. We don't want to be educated. We want to be entertained. We want somebody to feed us with drama. We Black women, we want to be praised. We don't want to be educated. We don't want to be informed about the truth. And the sad part is when you have sisters like myself who try to school some of these women and put them on game to the things that are really going on out there. They want to take one part of one piece of the puzzle out the whole equation instead of looking at the whole message. The fact that I said single mothers, she already got offended without even understanding the whole concept, and I can tell by her response. Evidently, she may be a single mom. And because you're a single mother, the moment somebody says single mom, you automatically go into a defense mode. When the truth of the matter is, single mothers are the most targeted by these sexual predators. Because as I stated before, it's a lot of women out here that are looking for instant daddies because they want to make up to their children for the men who they had them from that don't want to be there. And you have a lot of women that are willing to take a chance and move a man in their household, don't know this guy from Adam, don't know nothing about him. But what it is, they want to hurry up and find a quick replacement daddy because they do not want to deal with the burdens of being a single mother alone. Thanks, Char Willie. I appreciate you. It's too many of us as Black women trying to find quick replacement daddies. Just because a man comes around your children and he likes your kids, he buys them cookies and gives them $1 or $2 here and there. That does not mean you need to trust him and move him into your household because you don't know this man. And one thing about predators are smart. Predators are cunning. Predators are not mean, ladies and gentlemen. Predators are not mean. And even though this content is for the women, you guys need to understand that if you're not involved in your children's lives and you got one of those baby mamas that are dumb as a doorknob, and she'll any man that gives her the time of day, she'll move him in her home around your children. If you're not one of those men, you're not an active father, you don't keep up, you're not really involved. Your child could be getting molested by your baby mama boyfriend, you know what I mean? Because you can have a child, I mean, your baby mama could be one of those gullible, thirsty broads, like I said, that will give any man the time of day. Won't give it a second thought. Exactly, Shar. Appears to like your children. Exactly, you said the word correctly. Appears. And that's, even though this message is for the sisters, you guys, you brothers, y'all need to be hip to the game, because if you're not with your baby mama, 9 times out of 10 she's going to end up with someone. What's up, Katrina? Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. We need to talk about these child molesters because I'm tired of the Black community sweeping this problem up under the rug. We want to act like this is something that only happens in the white community in these Catholic churches. Do y'all realize how many child molesters are in your area? Do you even know how many child molesters are on your street? Do you even know if you're working for one? Your boss could be a child molester. This is a very serious issue, and the reason I'm so passionate about it, y'all, because I hate that children are getting hurt because people so damn thirsty. They want to move somebody in their house so fast. You know, they want to move. They want the first man that gives them attention. Just because your kids is already calling him daddy, that don't mean he needs to have that position in their life. And I'm just getting so sick and tired of these women getting hurt. I mean, these children getting hurt because somebody wanted to be thirsty. Their mama was too thirsty and didn't care, didn't look into this guy's history, didn't check his criminal background. And I'm just really fed up with that because every time I turn on the news and I hear somebody child and got hurt, somebody child and got died or got killed by the arms at the arms of a child molester, it burns my spirit. And again, this is an issue that is happening in the Black community. Why are we talking about everything else but that? We got all the time in the world to talk about all this other stuff. We want to talk about, Black women ain't this and Black men ain't that. What about these molesters that are preying on these single mothers? And like I said, you guys, y'all, I mean, the problem doesn't affect y'all as bad, but it does if y'all are not with the mother of your children, because like I said, she gets in a relationship. You better meet this man. You better come around this man and let him know you are active father. If you're one of those fathers who don't give a damn and you never come around, you're never there, that predator is going to play on that. That predator is going to play on your child, guys. Keep up with your children. I don't care how much you and the mama don't get along. She got a new man. She got a new boyfriend. You get your child one weekend and your son or your daughter says, daddy, mommy got a new boyfriend. Mommy got a new husband. Mommy married. You better go meet this man. You better find out. You need to let him see you so he can size you up and know that he's taking a chance if he tries your child. Yeah, water sniper. Preying on young little girls. What's up, Anthony? Appreciate you coming in. What's up, Gab Talk Media? Thank you for coming in, everyone. Yeah, you guys, y'all men, you guys are not exempt from child molesters. To all you fathers out there, you are not exempt from child molesters. If your child is not living with you, that child is staying with your child, with your baby mama, and she one of them simple broads, she got a new man every week, your child could be in the hands of a child molester. I'm serious as a heart attack. We need to stop sweeping this up under the rug because I'm tired of all of these bloggers coming on YouTube. We're talking about everything but these doggone child molesters. This is what I want to talk about because I'm tired of it happening. So, what is being shoved in the rug is also young blood. Yeah, absolutely, water sniper. That's true. We want to make it seem like this is just things that happen in the white community. But one thing about Black people, this is one of our problems. A lot of us have been born and raised in households where we have been taught that what goes on in the house stays in the house. How many of us have heard that? How many of us were told since we were little kids, what goes on in this house stays in this house? We were told, Black people, we were told to keep stuff a secret. I don't care how bad it is. I don't care how devastating it is. We are told to keep our mouth closed. Just about every Black family in the community has experienced some type of trauma with child molestation. Whether it had been an uncle, mama's boyfriend, daddy's best friend. This goes on a lot in a lot of Black families, but we don't want to talk about this stuff because we want to act like it only happens in other communities. We don't want to address it because it's uncomfortable. And, we don't want to be exposed. And the thing about it is, it's a lot of people walking around here who has been molested, men and women, and they are too embarrassed to talk about it. They're too embarrassed to talk about it. They're too ashamed. And guess what? When you don't call stuff out, ladies and gentlemen, it becomes a tumor. It keeps growing. If you don't call these child molesters out, that same uncle who molested you when you was 3 or 4 years old, guess what? That same uncle, if he has not been exposed, he's going to molest your niece. He's going to molest your nephew. It's going to keep going. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all, I don't think molesters could be rehabilitated. That's just my opinion. I really don't think they could be rehabilitated. I really don't think, I believe an alcoholic could be rehabilitated. I believe even a crackhead could be rehabilitated. But I don't think a molester could be rehabilitated. That's just my opinion. Because that's a lustful, demonic spirit that you can't just, you know what I mean? You can't go in no meeting and get help for that type of sickness. I don't think there's a cure for it. Now, Anthony says, Mocha, I got a question. See how a man is expected to step up and do for a woman's kids a kid. Are women held to the same standard with the data? Absolutely. Yes, of course, Anthony. That's not just something men are expected to do when it comes to single moms. Women as well. If a woman is going to deal with a man who has children, yes, she has to step up. Because, once y'all become in a relationship, y'all become a team. And it's no longer whatever was your problem before I got with you. Once we become in a serious, committed relationship, now it becomes our problem. There is no I in team. Absolutely. And if you are a man or you are a woman, you don't like children, you don't have patience for children, do not get with a single parent, period. Save yourself the headache and save that other individual the misery. Absolutely. It goes both ways, Anthony, of course. Art, mothers have to stop sending children in where it comes to child molestation. It's right. Yeah, that, and that's true too, Art. Women have to be very careful when we allow our children to get in the industry at such a young age, because they can fall prey to anyone. So that's definitely a true statement. They have to change their minds and say they have to look on that child on their own or give. And it's going to take a miracle, because a lot of them have been molesting for so long. It has become a part of their character, it has become a part of their nature, and it's hard to fight those urges. It's a sick urge, that cannot be rehabilitated unless that person truly, completely submits to God and gets some real counseling and therapy. I can't say that all hope is gone, but the only thing I can say, the odds are very slim to a man conquering that type of demon. So I'm going to share a video with you guys. I couldn't share it the other day because, like I said, I was having some technical issues, but I think I learned how to master it. So hopefully today, I've been running a lot of tests, so hopefully today I get it up and running pretty well. So let me see if I can get this going. Now, the video that I'm getting ready to show you, yeah, it becomes a part of their character. Once you start indulging in that type of lustful activity, it becomes cemented in your character. It doesn't vanish right away unless you, like I said, you have to really, really get some psychological help for that. This is the reason why I'm doing this content about the Chesters, overpopulating the Black community, because there's this guy by the name of Darnell Morgan. Evidently this dude is a sicko. He definitely has an issue with keeping his hands to himself, especially when it comes to these young women. And I'm going to get ready to share the screen so y'all can kind of see exactly what I am talking about. So let me go ahead and share the screen here. Okay, I'm gonna share the story with you. Okay, this is the gentleman here. His name, well, I can't even call him a gentleman. This is this perv. This Chester here goes by the name of Darnell Morgan. Now, keep in mind, there was this video of him that went viral that I'm going to be sharing with all of you that are in here. This video went viral of him groping his ex-girlfriend's 70-year-old daughter. Now, keep in mind, the Black community has been sleeping on this issue for years. And it's time for us as Black men and women to be woke to the situation and not act like it doesn't happen, to turn a blind eye, to turn a deaf ear. Because if you ignore stuff like this, you can potentially get caught up in this situation. And your household can face this very exact issue. So never think you're too good for things to never happen to you. Never think you are exempt from things going wrong in your life. You're not exempt. None of us are. So the more you are aware of this situation, the less chances of you falling prey and getting caught up in the situation. You're right. I've seen something too, and many of them get released from prison and go right back. Yeah, it does. It's a sickness. It's a permanent sickness. I really don't think too many people could get rehabilitated from. So this is the story, y'all. Man accused of sexually assaulting ex-girlfriend's underage daughter. Memphis, Tennessee. A Memphis man was arrested on Monday after allegedly sexually assaulting the daughter of one of his ex-girlfriends. The girl told police she was inside a home with Darnell Morgan when he began touching her inappropriately. She told the 37-year-old that she had to go to work and tried to leave. Now, this clown is 37 and touching children, young people underage inappropriately. That's when he lifted up her shirt and began licking her belly button and rubbing her ankle, police said. Again, she tried to leave the room, but to no avail. Morgan allegedly began kissing her on the mouth and then asked her if she was going to tell her mother. The teen told police that once again she told him that she needed to leave. As he was driving her to work, she said he kept grabbing her thighs and touching her inappropriately. At one point, he even began licking her toes. She said Morgan was taken into custody on Monday and charged with solicitation of minor sexual battery. So as y'all can see, this dude here, he definitely has some psychological issues. To me personally, when I hear stories like this and I observe these type of men, the first thing that comes to my mind whenever I hear stories about child molesters, what comes to my mind is when it comes to men like this, I automatically think of men with low self-esteem. Because only a man of low self-esteem will try to hit on somebody that's underage. Because if you are a man with confidence, you're not going to mess with a child. You know, if you're confident in yourself as a man, you'd rather deal with a woman, somebody who you know that's on your level. But see, these type of dudes, they lack low self-esteem. So the only way they can feel validated is by targeting young women who don't know no better, somebody who they can easily manipulate because they don't have the courage, they don't have the balls, they don't have enough self-esteem to approach women their age, to deal with women their age. So they would rather deal with a child because a child is easy. It's easier to manipulate, and a child is easier to take advantage of. They know a woman, not most of the majority of the time, is going to smell right through the bull. So they would rather target a child. And a lot of them have the psychological illness to where they would rather have sex with a child than to have sex with a woman, because in their mind, a woman does not turn them on. A woman doesn't stroke their ego enough. They rather target a child because the child doesn't have any experience and the child is easy to be manipulated. So these chesters, these molesters, these sexual predators, they would intentionally go after these young girls. What's up, Rep? I see you made it in. Appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by. These type of men, they lack self-esteem. They it's easier for them to approach a child because a child, again, is easy to manipulate. But I'm going to play the video, y'all, because what ended up happening was how he got caught was the teen who filed this complaint against this molester, this predator. She had to have proof that this man was targeting her, that he was funneling her. And I definitely have to give her credit for being so brave to be 17 years old, that she was willing to record this man groping her. And I could only imagine how uncomfortable that felt. Because honestly, y'all, when I saw this video, it made me uncomfortable. My skin started crawling because I could imagine being 17, 16 years old and this grown man rubbing his hands between my thighs. I could only imagine how uncomfortable she felt. But anyway, I'm going to play the video so y'all can see it for yourself, and that way we can discuss and go a little bit more into this. So let me just go ahead and show y'all the video and we'll go from there, because this is the video that got this fool busted. Okay, so let me see. I guess we'll go ahead and do that. I'm sure.
And then shit, you said that I'm finna pop his ass.
This. Okay.
I seen them toes today too. Them toes something pretty. I go get them done for you and everything, yeah. Let me get them done for you. I will get them polished. They don't look like they need clean because they already clean. Yeah, we get them polished for you. Damn, there's some more around. It just takes it. Hello. Hello. Hello, we try to jump in the car because you see it home. Good, good. I think this girl home. Stop getting this. Oh, you don't have to wait till it's up now. She said she was home. You home? Huh? You know, balance on me, don't you give me that piece, though. Man, I just want to look for change, yeah. I'm not that motherfucker play with you, dude. Right. I'm not that motherfucker play with you. Right, about 3 hours a time, man. It my mama house, man. That's not fun play with you. Yeah, I did, man. We shot out. Oh, whatever. For real. Yeah. Well, that was just how I feel, baby. It was good. Y'all can drop off, man. All right. All right. All right. Well, I said, oh, man, said, I need to tell on me like this. I ain't say something. It's so dirty.
Okay, let me know if y'all can hear me. I'm gonna exit out of this. Just let me know if y'all can copy my sound. Okay. Okay, let me see. All right. Can y'all hear me? Okay, cool. Okay. It took me almost months to learn how to play the video live with the sound and also be able to bring my voice back on. So finally, I've learned how to do it. Okay, appreciate it. Okay. As y'all can see, that whole situation, I'm sure it was very gut wrenching for you to watch. It was very unpleasant. Um, this is something that goes on. This is why I stated these issues in the Black community. We have to talk about it. We cannot sweep it up under the rug. I'm telling you, it's a woman right now who's at work, don't even know what her teenage daughter is going through right now. Don't even know what her teenage son is going through. Because guess what? They're messing with boys too now these days. These days, it don't matter. It's a woman somewhere at work out of her child's care for 9 hours. And she could be working a 12-hour shift. And you could be leaving your child with a perv just like this dude here. What's up, Silks? I'm turning it over to anyone. Absolutely, Rep. And that's just what happened. And I don't know if y'all peeped it, but while he was in the car fondling her daughter, she called him and asked him, what was he doing or whatever. And he said he was taking her daughter to work. And she was like, wow, and you couldn't even give me gas money. Now, believe it or not, the daughter and the mother was in on this. The story that I had gotten was the daughter just finally got fed up and she told her mom about what happened. Okay, so the daughter and the mom, they knew it was going to be their word against his. So what happened was the mother told her, what we're going to have to do is I'm going to need you to record him so we could turn him into the local authorities. So from my understanding, This was the mother's way of busting this fool. And it's unfortunate, but you know what the sad part is, y'all? That's the only way molesters are going to be stopped. You have to catch them red-handed. You can sit up here and say all day, this man is touching my child, this this woman is touching my son. Unless you have valid proof, they're going to deny it. So I almost understand that they had to take it to this level, because he wasn't going to get exposed any other way. And when this video went viral, when I said this video blew up, it went viral. That's what got him caught. He couldn't even lie about it. His face was clear. Everything he was doing is clear. So he could not get around it. Now, keep in mind, now, when it comes to these molesters, ladies and gentlemen, this is not something they just started doing. This is something they have a history of doing. I believe this is the I don't know if this is the same young lady. I think this is a different, this is a different young lady here who also came forward. So I'm going to also share the screen with y'all with the young lady who came forward and posted that she also had experienced this issue as well. So I'm going to share this with you. And then I'm gonna just show you this post right quick. Yeah, I try to blow it up. There was another young lady who came forward, who also wanted to expose this clown, because when it comes to these molesters, y'all, this ain't just their only time. 9 times out of 10, they have done it several other times before. So another young lady, after this dude got arrested, she decided to come forward as well. She says her name is Kaylee Danielle, and she says on her post, she posted this: I said I wasn't going to say nothing, but I swear I got some of relief. This the same man that molested me in my own house. He the reason to this day I have to sleep with my doors locked. I still jump in my sleep when somebody touched me. Dude used to literally stand over me while I was asleep. I kept it a secret for so long until last year before I got pregnant. I got drunk and got in my feelings and told my mama and daddy. I was so scared to say something, cause something, I guess you're trying to say something because my daddy was in jail. And I didn't want my mama saying I was being fast. That shit went on for 3 years. I wish I would have said something sooner. Y'all, do y'all see how bad this situation can get out of hand? Do y'all? So he had already done this before. Had this young lady probably came forward, he probably wouldn't have had a chance to be able to do this again. Yep, Katrina. This man, he been doing this. Molesters don't just start molesting; they've been molesting. This man been molesting, and let me tell you something. And I might lose my brownie points for this, and I'm just being realistic. So hopefully nobody takes this the wrong way, like I'm trying to give this man any type of credibility. But honestly, if you look at him, let me share his screen again, because I want y'all to understand where I'm coming from. Now, keep in mind, he's not the finest looking man. He's nothing my panties will get wet over, but he's not a bad looking guy. And the reason I'm telling y'all this, because I want y'all to see the point that I'm making. He's not a bad looking guy. 9 times out of 10, he's the type of dude the majority of women will most likely talk to. He's not an ugly man. He's not the finest man on this planet, but he's not an ugly guy. And the reason why I'm stressing this to everyone is to make especially these women, understand molesters do not look like molesters. They could be nice looking guys, cute looking guys, and I'm going to make that point even clearer. Now, I don't know about y'all, but here in Chatham County, because I'm from Savannah, Georgia, y'all, okay? That is where I lived, is where I was born and raised. Now, every county has what's called a registered sex offender list. And I wish my sisters all the time we put into going on Instagram and going on Facebook. We like to post selfies. We got all the stuff we doing on the internet, all this access we have to the internet, yet we don't use it for things we really need to use it for. For instance, every county has a website where you can research in all the registered sex offenders within your area. So whenever you're dating a guy or meeting a guy, I would recommend for all you single mothers and you single ladies that you check your local jurisdiction registered sex offender site. Okay? Way ahead of you. So Art, so I guess you definitely be checking yours then. I know me, I check this site. I check it at least once every 2 months, and I would recommend checking it more frequently than that. For all of you women that are single women, single mothers, I'm to me, I'm Inspector Gadget. When I meet all of my friends, I meet their boyfriends or somebody new, a new guy, you know, um, is introduced to the family. I get his first name and his last name, and I check. That's just me because I want to know what I'm dealing with because you just never know what type of people you're dealing with. If a woman has kids, she has to go beyond crazy to bring a man in her house before we touch it. Absolutely. And rep, they do it every freaking time. They never, ever, ever, ever learn. Now, I'm going to show y'all some of these faces off of this registered sex offender list in my area. And keep in mind, this is exactly where I live. So it's a lot of them. Fortunately, I don't see any on my street, but it's still something I worry about because I have a 17-year-old daughter. And you know, these pervs, they don't have a problem with approaching your child. Doesn't matter how young your child is. But anyway, if y'all look, these are the group of guys. This thing here is always in the way. If you notice these group of guys, these are all the registered sex offenders in the area. A lot of them have the good thing about it is that they have an address. They have an address, and I'm glad that you know, the system is setting it up to where these men are registered so we can see their photo and we can see where they live. And then there's different levels of molestation, y'all. You have level 2, you have level 3, and level 1. I think, if I'm not mistaken, let me go all the way down. I think, okay, here it is. It explains it right here. Uh, these are different levels of sex offenders, and I'm gonna show y'all the different pictures of them. If you look at the levels here, it says risk level definition. I cannot read today, y'all. They got level 1, level 2, level 3. So it's different levels of molestation, even though molestation is molestation, period. But basically, what this states is some of these guys are way more a risk, are definitely a threat to society. So level 1 is like a low risk. Most guys that are level 1s are like simple pervs. Basically, they showed their penis maybe to a child, or they was looking at child porn. You know, basically they pervs, but they not really a threat, meaning they haven't really touched anybody's children, but they were working on it, or they're in that area. You feel me? The word I just shared this. Yes, absolutely. And this is why I'm doing this content. Thank you, Silks, because I want everybody to please share this message. This is not something I'm posting just for the hell of it, because I don't want anybody else's child becoming a victim. You got a sister, you got a daughter. Please share this message with them. This is the purpose of me doing this. Yep, rep. It's a lot of them. It's more. I seen more black molesters than I seen, Caucasians, and that's why I'm doing this, because I don't want us being blinded and turning our ear like it's not an issue. But let me go back to these levels. Now, level 2 is an intermediate sex offender risk, meaning they do not meet the criteria for classification either as a sexually dangerous predator. Now, most of the guys I notice, level 2 predators, are mostly like statutory rape. They mostly have like statutory rape, meaning that the female they was involved with, they didn't like technically rape them. In other words, it was a younger female, even though she was not of age, but she gave consent to be sexually involved. These guys usually get charged with statutory rape. Meaning they didn't just rip the clothes off of these young women, they didn't drug them. Basically, they had like a relationship going, which in my mind, I don't know what grown-ass man would want a relationship with a 15 or 16-year-old, but anyway, you just got some men that got issues or whatever, and that's what they do. But level 2 guys are not too bad of a threat. And we're going to go through this because we're going to look at the different charges so y'all can see the difference between level 1, 2, and 3. And 3 are the high risk sex offenders. So all of the guys that I'm getting ready to show y'all, any of them that you see as level 3 is definitely a threat to society, a major threat. Level 3 means they can't be nowhere near children, period. They can't even look at a child, because that's just how much of a threat they are to society. So anyway, I just thought I would break that down. So we're going to go back and look at these pictures, y'all, because I want y'all. My thing is, I don't want my people to be blinded to the stigma of what a child molester looks like. Y'all, we need to stop having stereotypes. We need to stop assuming that a child molester is a creepy old white man with big Coca-Cola bottle glasses. That's not true. So anyway, we're just going to look at a few of them. This dude here is 40. He's a level 2 statutory rape. So most likely he was dealing with somebody underage. I mean, a molester is a molester, but he's not a major threat. But, still, once you become a molester, you have to register for life. And the thing about it is, being a sex offender, y'all, is so, you talking about prison. Even though these guys are out and they're able to walk around and roam free, they're not free. Do you realize? Because I personally know somebody who's a registered sex offender. He's my mom's friend son. And all of the rules this guy has, he can't live by any schools. He can't live by any child care centers. He cannot live by anywhere where there's children. They got a lot of rules up the behind. They cannot have social media access. They're not allowed to have an Instagram account. Their lives are very, very restricted. And if they break any of these rules, they're definitely going to get in trouble. Dude here, 43, has 2 counts of child molestation. Look at all of these black men, y'all. Look at all of these black guys. And this is our community. This is the stuff we don't want to talk about. Yeah, this guy here, child molestation. Cruelty to children. Cruelty to children. Now, let me explain to y'all a little bit about cruelty to children. What's up, Dion? Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you. When it comes to cruelty to children, y'all, basically what that means is that adult has committed a heinous act in front of a child. For instance, like if you rape a woman in front of her child, that's cruelty to children. If that child was there and saw it with their own eyes, That's cruelty to children. Now, let's say if the child didn't see it, but the child was upstairs and heard the mother being raped or heard the mom screaming, that's cruelty to children. So cruelty to children is not actually as strong as molestation because child didn't get touched. But the fact that it was a crime that involved a child. So this guy here, he most likely didn't molest, but he did a criminal act that has affected a child in some form or another. And also cruelty to children, you can get that too. Like for instance, if you're supposed to watch somebody's child and you allow that child to not eat for a couple of days, you don't feed that child, you don't wash that child been in a pissy diaper for like 5-6 months. I'm not, well, not that long, but if the child been in a pissy diaper for like 2-3 days, that's cruelty to children. So keep in mind, cruelty to children and child molestation is not the same, but being that a child was affected by his actions, he had to register. So I just thought I would break that down for you. Oh, thank you, D Boys, for the donation. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really, really am grateful. Thank you for the $10 donation. Thank you. So, yeah, that's what that means. So I'm just giving y'all some of my criminal justice knowledge, okay? We're gonna go on. Look at all these guys, y'all, in the community. That's what I'm saying. We don't want to talk about, our brothers in the community that's around here touching children or dating underage girls. This brother here, he doesn't have them. Oh hell, but wait a minute, he's a level 3, so he's a major threat to society. Now it even tells you when they committed the act. He committed statutory 2001, and we're in what, 2018. So this is a permanent stain on your record, guys. If you get caught up in a situation, you messing with females underage and stuff like that, guess what? It's not worth it. And yeah, this guy's a level 3, so they consider him a major threat to society. Wow. You're in London. Okay, Du Bois. Okay. Wow. Somebody from London in the chat room. That's amazing. Okay. Yeah, they keep bailing these dudes out of Supreme Court. But you know what? Here in Georgia, they strict in Georgia. But you know what? You kind of have a point there, Art, because I knew this one guy. He was a registered sex offender, and he kept messing up. They kept giving this dude so many slaps on the wrist till it was ridiculous. Now they're getting ready to lock him up for real now, because he done lied about his address and he hasn't been attending the classes and the program, so he might have just killed himself or whatever. Now this guy here, y'all, like I said, this guy looked like he could be in somebody work at somebody's church or something like that. He's a level 3 offender. I mean, this is crazy. All of the, black men in our community, man, I'm telling you, they have some problems. They got some major problems. There's some more here. Perry Cooper, I mean, grown men. Now, this is all in my area where I live at. Indecent liberties with the minor. Yeah, I mean, you have black and white, but I'm just so astonished at how many black men are registered sex offender in the community, We'll keep going down. Enticing child for indecent purposes, and all of the statutory rape. These men are going with these young females underage. I mean, come on, is your self-esteem that low that you don't want to talk to a woman? You rather get a child? I mean, like, it's a sickness. That's why the black women in the community, y'all need to start doing y'all research and stop moving these men in y'all house and y'all don't know nothing about them. Y'all need to check your local website. We got a female statutory rape. Yep. I mean, so we got some women child molesters too. I mean, it's more men than they're all women though. I think it's either Missouri or Utah, but when those senators are pushing to make pedophilia legal. Oh yeah, yep, rep, they're doing that. They are definitely doing that. That's why you got to really keep tabs of your children, y'all, because they're starting to legalize them in some states. And once these pedophiles know what they do is what they can get away with doing stuff legally, we really gonna have a problem in our hands. Now this brother here, is that a Muslim cap he got on? No, that like a I don't know what that is. Yeah, like a low Jerry curl or something. Whatever. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, we got a lot of brothers in the community. He aggravated assault with intent to rape. Yeah, so he tried to rape someone. He's a level two. So yeah, he's definitely registered. Let me see. Tony Mitchell, Devin Mitchell. Look, I mean, these guys look like they could be in your church. I mean, you looks are deceiving. He don't even look like. Yeah, I know Zero. I just have put two and two together. I was as hell. It looked like a hat. I looked like one of those little Muslim caps. I guess. Like I said, it's like it was be somebody's uncle, man. I'm telling you, y'all got a lot of brothers in the community, man. That's sick. That got a sickness. I wish more male bloggers would talk about stuff like this. But they that man in my school who got charged for raping somebody in the bed. Yeah, and also my daughter just brought up something. She come to find out one of her teachers, a Caucasian male, he had got arrested because come to find out he was molesting. He was raping somebody's child. Looked like a normal guy. And I mean, he was very geeky and nerdy. And I even spoke to him once. And he was helping my daughter, you know, with her grades and stuff. You know what I mean? I'm telling y'all, it's real out here. You cannot go by how anybody looks anymore. Oh, they was under 10 years old? Yeah, see, yeah. Yeah, he sodomized a 10-year-old. You know, this was one of my daughter's teachers. You know, I was saying that they're legalizing portions of these sick dudes' practices at the Supreme Court. Oh, okay, I get what you're saying, Art. Some of these laws will pass and will run around free. I'm telling you, we in our last days, y'all. We are in our last days. Anything goes. Rissa, didn't he kill himself? He didn't kill himself. One of them teachers killed themselves. One of them was getting ready to be exposed. It might be a different teacher. There was one teacher who got exposed, and before they could issue out a warrant, and they had a warrant executed for his arrest. When they went to his house, he had already killed himself because he already knew what he was up against, and he wasn't going to deal with it. He killed himself. It's messed up how these men could go around tormenting somebody else's life, but then look at this here. This is what I'm saying, ladies. Look at this guy. He's not even a bad looking guy. This is what I'm saying. And he's a child molester. Yo. Yo, man, I'm telling you. I mean, if I wasn't married, this is somebody I possibly, you know what I mean, would have dated. This is some scary, scary mess. You know, and I'm not saying this to be funny. I'm being 100. This is not an ugly guy. And he's a child molester. That do you ladies not understand? You cannot go by how these guys look. I mean, he got a nice built physique. And he's a child molester. It's not funny, but I'm just saying, yo, this is sad. These are nice looking guys. Now, I personally know this guy here. He was he was messing with a female underage. She lied about her age. She looked older than what she said. So, you know, guys, be careful messing with these young girls that are overly developed. Just because she's built like a woman, guess what? If she's not a woman, you better run. You better run like your life depended on it. I don't care how voluptuous her body is, a child is still a child. It's not worth losing your freedom. This guy here, he looks creepy. He look like he do crack to me or whatever. So some of them are creepy looking, and some of them are not so much so. Now I'm going to check another area code that's not too far. within my jurisdiction. Let me go to 405. Zero Kelvin says, I know these dudes had to be in protective custody because there's no way these dudes could have survived in prison. I don't think they even like went to prison. I think they went like to, some of them here went like Chatham County jail. So a lot of them was kind of spared, but I'm sure if they were to go to the real prison, Zero, yeah, you already know what time it is. Now we got some more molesters. This is a different area. Now, this is usually what we perceive as a child molester. This is the only stigma type we have in mind. This is what we have in mind. But it's not just guys that look creepy like him. That's the purpose of me doing this content. People need to understand it's not just creepy looking guys. Okay, now anyway, let me see. And as y'all can see, they have their address, they have their age, and they have the day they got charged, and they have their level of threat to society. Keep going here, and it'll let you know if they locked them back up in jail. Like this dude here, he's back in jail, so he probably reoffended again. So is that a man? That was a man. That was a man, Katrina. I know I had to do a double take too. Like, is that a man or a woman? But yeah, that's a man. Let me see this guy here. Yeah, we got some Caucasian males too, but I'm just still distraught that there's so many black, these old men, 72 years old. Well, he committed his in 1999, so yeah, that was 1999 when he committed his offense. Let me see. And that's why it's important that you check these type of lists, lady. And it's not just black women, white women, all women need to check this list because you need to make sure the guys you're dating or the guys that are not trying to hit on you are not registered sex offenders. Because I ran into some of these guys. I ran into them in grocery stores. I ran into them in traffic. I know they face when I see them because I checked this web on the regular. And he's 28 years old. He got aggravated sexual assault back in 2012. I mean, guys, even got people, these men could end up dating one of y'all daughters or dating somebody in your family. You have to be on point with what's going on in y'all community. It's imperative that we keep up with things like this. Yeah, this one here, pimping, meaning he was involved most likely in what they call it, sexual trafficking. And that's another big issue, y'all, that we have here in Chatham County where I live. It's a lot of sexual trafficking going on. They are luring these young women. What's starting to happen is you got guys like this, they'll talk to a girl, get a number, date the girl, get close, get good, get in good with her, just so he could turn out and pimp her out. So you got to educate your daughters and educate your nieces, the young women in your family. Because it's a lot of women, young women that are being used as sex slaves. Yeah, thanks, Zero. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, y'all. It's a lot of what's up, therapists. Appreciate you. I had an excellent live chat last night with therapists, Black in Japan, and my girl Classic Ruby. We had a wonderful time last night. So for all of you who missed out, it's uploaded. You're welcome to view it or whatever. So it was a really good live chat. But yeah, if you look at all these registered sex offenders, and like I said, this guy here, he most likely he was pimping a person under 18. He's 27 years old. What it is, they are recruiting these young men to get close to these young females out here, and that way they could lure these young women into sex trafficking. I said we got some Caucasian males here too. And some of these guys committed these offenses years ago, 1989. But once a sex offender, always a sex offender. It never comes off your record. Yes, therapist, I'm doing laundry today. He got jokes. That's a little inside joke, y'all. If y'all view my video I uploaded last night, you'll get what that little laundry joke came in at from therapist. That's a little inside joke. Um, exactly, because they connect with them on the internet. Absolutely. You need to be on a live stream sometime. No, yeah, I try to be as much as I can, Zero.
I tell them when you kick your child out, your child
Yeah, good point, Rissa. My daughter just made a very good point. She just stated something that really made a lot of sense. She said sometimes you have to be careful with throwing your child out your home. You know, you get in an argument, you throw your daughter out, throw your son out. It don't happen to a lot of boys, but you still got to be careful. But you got to be careful with throwing your daughters out because, you know, they are vulnerable. And if they run into these pimps that are being recruited from these sexual predators, your daughter could end up in the hands of these type of men, you know? So, yeah, Rissa, you made a good point on that. My daughter just brought that up to me. I didn't think about it. So, yeah. They'll invite you to, invite you to a hotel and feed you. Yeah, because you did a research project. You did a essay on that, right? Yeah. They'll like my daughter was saying, yeah, you know, if you throw your child out and your child has no place to go, they're hungry, need somewhere to sleep, these pimps, these sexual predators will work on them and give them something to eat, give them a place to stay, and meanwhile setting them up for the okie doke. I meant you have to have me on live stream. Yeah, of course, Zero. I'm definitely game with that. I'm going to be doing another live next week, so I'm going to try to get you and Rep and therapists. I'm gonna see if we can all get together again next Friday. So I'll send all of y'all an email or whatever. So we're gonna try to do another live again. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do my lives every Friday night. So yeah, I don't have a problem with doing that, of course. Let me see. Look at these other guys, and like I said, these guys, they work on your jobs, they're in your church, engage in a sexual act with a minor. Now, this guy don't even look like he just looks like a nerd in a sense, and evidently nothing too nerdy about him. He's around here touching people's children. Let me see how old he is. He's 30 years old. Okay, yeah, he's young, but he's not that young. And I notice a lot of these guys, they stay in trailer parks. I notice a lot of trailer parks keep child molesters. I noticed that. Let me see. I'm just gonna show y'all a little bit more because I know y'all tired of seeing all of these photos here. Some more guys. I mean, all of these black guys. Okay, this is like like somebody pastor here. Child molestation. He committed it back in 2010. I said, bro, I mean, full grown men who have a sexual demonic problem. I used to go to school with this guy here, statutory rape. He's been on the sex offender registered list like seemed like forever. But y'all get my drift. I just really wanted what you want to him. You know him? Harrison? Oh, okay. I just want to really make a point. You know, I wanted y'all to see all of this for a reason because I wanted us to get the stereotype out of our minds as to what a child molester is in the black community because there's so many of them. And it's very sad. I ran into this dude in a grocery store. He has a very distinctive look, so I knew who he was right away when I saw him. He committed his offense back in 2010. Yeah, and it's unfortunate that we have a lot of this. And guess what? We got females that are pimping. This is a female. What's up, Jeremy? That is a registered sex offender for pimping. Basically, she's one of those females that will get in good with with these young women and probably befriend them, become cool with them, just so she can help aid in getting them pimped out. Because you got a lot of these sexual traffickers, they are paying other women to lure other young women in because it's easier. They figure it's better chances of them getting a younger female to confide into an older female. So this dummy decided to allow the sexual trafficker to use her to get in close with these young women so she could recruit them and end up pimping them out. So you got females that are also doing this as well. It's a very unfortunate, and this is a sister that's doing this. It's unbelievable. I'm telling you, you can never judge a book by its cover. Um, Yes, I'm going to get ready to exit out of this. Yeah. Young guy, 23 years old, cruelty to children. Yeah, it's really sad, y'all, but a lot of this is going on within the Black community. And again, this is the reason why I did this video. I did this particular content because there's too many of us that want to be blinded to this issue in the Black community. Child molestation is on the rise. This is something we can't overlook. We can't take it for granted. We cannot act like it's not going on. Single mothers who have children, even you single fathers, you have to be careful because you have some sick-minded women out here who do love to play on little boys. It's very imperative, y'all, that when you have another human being around your child, you pay attention to the signs. You watch how your children behave around them. If your daughter is distant when your boyfriend comes around, or your boyfriend always wants to be alone with your daughter, he's always wanting to be with your daughter more than you. Every time you turn around, he wants to pick her up from work. I mean, he's going all out his way for your child. You have to pay attention to stuff like that. You can't turn a blind eye. You got to pay attention to the signs. Late at night, is he getting up while you knocked out sleep? I know me, I'm kind of a light sleeper. I sleep heavy, but then I don't. I can feel when my husband is getting up out of the bed. And he's going to the bathroom. If you have a boyfriend or your significant other, he's always leaving your room all time of night. He's going down the hall to your daughter's room. I mean, come on, pay attention to stuff like that. A lot of times, these women be knowing what's going on right underneath their nose, and they just want to ignore it because they want stuff like that. They want so badly to have a man in their company that they will overlook all kind of stuff. Does your daughter act funny when he comes around? She doesn't talk as much. She doesn't seem like herself. Pay attention. Yeah, and Katrina, all of that, it's sad, but you can't even trust your children going to school because you got teachers. We had that happen here. We had a principal, I think it was a principal or assistant principal in one of our high schools, fondling and assaulting a lot of the female students. We had that happen at Savannah State University. The chief police officer of Savannah State University got caught assaulting a lot of the college students. So for all of my parents who have daughters in school, in college, check on your daughters, see about them. While you worried about these little knucklehead boys that's hitting on them, you better worry about these perverted grown men who work with your daughters, who work over your daughters, who are in high positions, because they will take advantage of these young women. They will take advantage of them. And if you're not one of those parents, you don't keep up, you don't have a connection with your child, you don't know if your daughter or your son is being taunted. And it happens to boys too, like the young man um who was sexually involved with the white teacher Mary Kay, and they ended up getting, she married him and had children from him. I mean, young men go through it too, because what's starting to happen is some of these young women are so desperate, some of these older women have become so desperate, they are going after these young boys now. So don't think that this is an issue that can just happen to just daughters or just females. It happens to these young men. And even though I know for most people they may look at it like, wow, you know, that's a good thing for a young man to be able to score with an older woman, you know. Some people may consider that like, you know, that's brownie points, but in actuality it's not, because you have a grown woman that's involved with a young man, she's stripping him of his youth, she's making him old before his time, you know. And that young man who Mary Kay had that affair with, he suffered, and he ended up divorcing her recently. You know, he suffered because of that. You know, even though the kids are grown that they had together, you know, he suffered. He went through a lot psychologically behind it. And he was raped when he was 9 by an older girl. Yeah, it happens. But you'll never hear about it because, and that's true, Guru. You never hear about it because too many men are embarrassed. It's not too many men that's going to come forward and say, um, yeah, you know, my babysitter molested me, or you know, um, my teacher is molesting me, you know, because of course his friends may get in his ear and make it sound like it's cool. Oh, wow, such and such is liking you and this and that, and not realizing that he's going to be psychologically damaged behind that. So just because you have a son, that don't mean they cannot get affected, just like these young girls that have to experience being molested. Um, he was 16. He smashes. Now I'm like, now I'm smashing. Ah, G Party, you are a mess. OMG. But really, this is why I spent so much time on this content with all of y'all, because again, I'm just so fed up with the black community. And don't forget those thumbs up, everyone, because I definitely gave y'all a lot of knowledge today with this particular content. My concern is the black community, and I'm tired of us being blinded to things. We want to focus on issues that are irrelevant. We're not talking about these child molesters that are poisoning our black community. It's not, we want to talk about these single mothers that are poisoning the black community. We want to talk about the black men poisoning the black community. What about these child molesters that are poisoning the black community? Why are we not talking about that? And as I stated earlier, the reason we don't talk about it, because we were told that what goes on in the house, it stays in the house. Black people, we were taught to hide and cover up all the dirt that's been going on within the family tree. If there's an uncle or a grandfather, if somebody in your family has committed this type of offense, you need to tell your children. Make them be informed, make them be aware of this issue, so that they don't fall prey to it. It's a saying that God cannot heal what we don't reveal. Long as we want to keep covering it up and hiding it and act like it's not happening, it's going to continue to grow like a tumor. It's going to get more and more and more out of hand, as long as we want to keep sweeping things up under the rug. So I hope and pray to the heavens above that somebody learned something from this content today. Please share this message with your daughters, Share this with single mothers within the community. Put this on Facebook. Put this on Instagram. We want to share foolishness. We want to share drama, but we don't want to share something that's going to be beneficial to the community. Y'all could save somebody's life with this message, with this content. Let's not turn a blind eye to these child molesters that are overpopulating our community. Protect the child, not the sick adult. Absolutely. We can't rehabilitate these child molesters. There's no hope for them. There is none. My brother was molested by my uncle. He was 38 years. He still hangs out with the uncle. That exactly, Guru. Black people, we are cursed with that. We are cursed, and with that, we're hiding secrets. We've been taught to just whatever goes on, we deal with it and act like it didn't happen. And I don't know if it derives from the plantation days with our ancestors. You have to realize our ancestors went through a lot during slavery, and our ancestors really didn't have no help, really didn't have any support. So our ancestors had to just hold on to whatever they was going through, whether they was getting raped, beaten, or assaulted. Our ancestors during slavery was taught to just endure it and don't speak nothing of it. And I think to this day, a lot of us, we still hold that same characteristics of, we just going to act like it didn't happen. We're not going to say a word. And when you do this, it keeps brewing. It becomes a generational curse. It keeps going. What's up, Gigi? How you doing? It keeps going. It keeps manifesting. The more we want to act like child molestation is not a problem in the community. If you know a Chester, for you to support him, for you to be around him, and this is my thing, and I can't, for the grace of God, I've never experienced molestation. From the grace of God, I know a lot of people who have, and a lot of people that have been molested, they are still close to the individual that inflicted that pain upon them. And my thing is, what's up, Cool Gent? Anybody that's a victim, if you are still hanging around a person who molested you, if you are still hanging around a person who robbed you of your youth, who robbed you of your innocence, I don't care if that's your father, I don't care if that's your uncle, I don't care if it's your brother. If you are a victim of molestation, and I'm going to repeat this clearly because I want everybody to understand this. What's up, Darius? If you hang around your molester, you are no longer a victim. You are a volunteer. Let that sink in good. If you are still affiliating with your molester, you are no longer a victim. You are a volunteer. And that's just the God's honest truth. So, on that note, y'all, I think I'm going to probably do a part 2 on this because I want to talk about these victims that are still catering to the molester. I think I want to do a part 2 on that because I didn't really go too much into the victims on this particular segment. So I'm going to save that for next time. I definitely want to do a part 2 on, Chesters and the Black community. But the next part 2, I want to talk about it from a victim's standpoint, because I know it's a lot of victims. I'm going to break down all of the elements as to why a lot of victims are still catering to their molesters, are still having relationships with their molesters. I definitely want to do a part 2 on this, and I am going to do a part 2 on this. So definitely be on the lookout for that, everyone who's definitely interested. I have a cousin who was molested, who has resulted in her having violent tendencies. She used to attack me and my cousin when I was a kid. She's doing better now. Yeah, I'm telling you, because when you've experienced that type of trauma, Zero, it psychologically damages you. It ruins your psyche. You are not normal. You are not normal. I don't care what anybody says about a person who's been molested. Doesn't matter how good they look. It doesn't matter how many degrees they got. It don't matter how well dressed they are. They can even be millionaires. You will never be normal once you have been molested. Now, this does not mean you can't have a life. This does not mean you cannot survive, even after experiencing something so traumatizing. But the truth of the matter is, you will never be the same. And it's not your fault. You will never be the same when somebody has tampered with your youth. But you cannot be in denial about it. And definitely, Katrina, they definitely are scared, and it's embarrassing, it's hurtful. And to talk about it means reliving that nightmare. To have to go into the details of what happened, to explain step by step what that person did, how often they did it. It has to be a very traumatizing experience. And a lot of them don't want to talk about it because they don't want to relive it. So definitely, Katrina, you made some significant points. Yeah, but definitely, I'm gonna a couple of you I have in here. I'm gonna make y'all moderators. Katrina, Guru, G Porter, Zero. I'm gonna give you guys, all of you, a wrench. Because y'all been coming to my channel for a minute and everything. So definitely gonna do that. So on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to wrap things up. I'm gonna leave my final thoughts with this situation. Ladies, be very careful getting too close to a man unless you know his history, unless you met his family, and unless you are really aware of all of his psychological issues. You're not going to know everything about everyone. It's going to be certain things people are not going to disclose to you right up front, but it's very imperative, especially if you have children, especially if you have daughters, that you do your history before you move these men in your house. I'm going to say this again to you men out there. If you have children and they are living with their mother and not living with you, keep up with your son. Keep up with your daughter, because you don't know your baby mama's boyfriend. You don't know your baby mama's new man. And if you are one of those absentee fathers, you don't come around, you don't keep up, and your baby mama may be so desperate and thirsty that she's willing to take a man in her home, a new man in her home every week. And if you are one of those men, you don't come around, and this predator knows it, your child could possibly become a victim. So it's very important that you keep up with your children, guys. I don't care how much you and the baby mama don't get along. You keep up with your kids. You meet the boyfriend. You meet her new husband. Let this man know that you are forced to be reckoned with if something happens to your child. And you do the research. Don't wait for her to do it. You as a man, do your research. Check that registered sex offender list. Get his first name. Get his last name. Isn't your child's well-being important? Don't just leave it up to the woman to do everything. That's your child too. You do the research. Stop sitting back and letting her bring all these random men around your child. And by the time you find out, damage is done because the dude who molested your child, he done moved out or moved in another state. You wait too late to do anything about it. You get what I'm saying? So again, I'm going to do a part 2 on this. We're going to talk about victims who have experienced being molested. That's going to be the part 2 that I'm definitely going to do. So again, I hope everybody learned something from this content today, but I'm definitely going to get ready to shut it down. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If anybody wants to come on live with me, I don't have a problem doing that. The thing is, I have to interview you first if we did not already speak or have an encounter. I would need your number. I would need you to email me so we can talk. I want to make sure we're on the same page. I'm very particular about who I allow on my live panel. Other than that, if you want to bring me on your live panel, that's fine as well. Email me. I'll be willing to put my time aside. You know, I'm willing to share my wisdom and the knowledge, not only on my own channel, but on anybody else's channel, you know. So it is what it is. I think knowledge is something we shouldn't be stingy with. We should share our knowledge. We should share our wisdom. That's how you earn your blessings, by passing on knowledge and passing on wisdom. So on that note, y'all, it is your girl, Lady Mocha. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and rocking out with me today. Remember, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always break you off with a slice of knowledge. So until next time, y'all be blessed. Y'all take care, and I'll be hollering at y'all soon. Bye.